Presentations. Tonight is Tuesday, June 29th, 2021. We'll call the roll since we really don't have a clerk tonight. So present is Frank Kaplan
here,
and Luis Laredo.
I'm here, Vice Mayor.
Oh, she's there. She's
sorry, my video is not working. I apologize.
She's not video, but she's on the and myself, Ed London.
I'll take the roll call. Councilmember Kaplan.
Here.
Councilmember Laredo.
Here.
Vice Mayor London.
Here.
Councilmember McCormick.
Here.
Councilmember Moss. Councilmember Segurola.
Here.
Mr. Vice Mayor, you have a quorum, but it's not needed as it is a workshop.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
First item, Mr. Mayor's brief comments. Mr. Vice Mayor, brief comments by council.
Luis, any comments?
Yes, I wanted to, before we start. I know this is not a regular meeting, but this way we can communicate maybe by consensus with the manager. Obviously, with the tragedy that has happened in Miami Beach, there's going to be a lot of pressure on enforcement and stuff and inspections of our buildings. So I would hope that as our budget is not going to come up until end of September, so that he can maneuver whatever money he has, flexibility on to try to hire people in our department. I know that we're short. We also have the major construction in the church. So I think it's a time to really staff up in building and zoning because that's a major project there. And then, of course, whatever comes out of this tragedy. The other thing, just for your consideration, I don't know if it is, I don't know that I spoke to the lawyer. We have regular workshops and hearings. I just wonder why we just can't have all the meetings just be regular meetings. So that sometimes we may be able to make decisions. The agendas will define the meetings. This would have been a regular council meeting exclusively on the issue of communities. When we advertise it as a workshop, it limits us a little bit. Further, under the charter, we have a minimum of 11 or a minimum of 11 meetings, which when we wrote the charter, we thought that was the maximum. We're having 19 this year. Last year, we have about the same. I think we can be a little more efficient because with 19 meetings, the administration basically is doing nothing hardly but preparing us for meetings. And that's not the way it was intended to be. So I thought perhaps we can do a better consolidation, Mr. Manager, or whatever, of meetings. And it also affects, it would help if pay attention to what I'm saying. It also affects the absentee, Vice Mayor. Under the charter, you have 3 absentees. It's not the same thing to miss 3 out of 11 as 3 out of 19. Some of us who are in business, international business, and others are beginning to come out of our shells and travel. So we may miss meetings. The manager would decide on the emergency ordinance extension, but I think we should be a little bit flexible.
This meeting is being recorded.
It's just sort of a housekeeping thing that I think will help us get better.
Thank you. Frank?
I want to thank Ann Tainter for resuming a hallowed tradition by delivering 2 pies to our council meeting tonight. Thank you, Ann. And thank you really sincerely for all the civic contributors who give time and talent and oftentimes treasure to add to our local brand and our quality of life here. Thank you.
Brett, do you have any comments? Not that you're sitting down yet, but brief comment. Anybody? Let's see. Ignacio? Comment?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Allison? Can't hear you.
You're muted. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're on now. Oh, now you're muted again.
Thank you. It wasn't allowing me to unmute. I was getting a message. I just wanted to also, lend my sympathy and support for the terrible tragedy, but also to echo that clearly this is a time that we now will be looking closely at our own buildings and our own community, and also to repeat a little bit what Frank said about this meeting in particular. This is one that often gives me goosebumps. I love to see what our community is interested in doing, and I'm so proud that we're often able to support them. I'm very happy with the news we received about the lawsuit, so we could stop sending money there and put it to more positive uses in our community. And so I'm looking forward to tonight.
Thank you. Nasir, you said nothing to add. This meeting tonight probably is more controversial than almost any other meeting we have, because it really brings into question, what is the purpose of government? What should we provide as far as services to the people? What do we get elected for? What do people expect? Obviously, everybody sitting here expects us to provide what you want us to provide. Other people at home said, we're wasting their money. So we really, the people here make decisions. We really have a balancing act between what is in the community's best interest for most of the community and what is basically superfluous and really not necessary. And people say, we are absolutely wasting money. And so that's a really tough thing, and probably tougher to decide than any more of the budget item is how much do we give to different groups represented here tonight that is not, we'll say, necessary, but might be a great idea. So having said that, we'll start the public comments, and I'll give you a choice in the public comments. You can make public comments up front, or you can wait till your particular issue is being presented. I would suggest waiting because it's more meaningful at that time. I also would like to request that when you come up to make a public comment, if the person before you has said something which you totally agree with and you're going to say the same thing, please don't say it again. Just say you agree with them and add on what you'd like to. As far as making your presentations this evening, we do know how to read. Most everybody here, including me, knows how to read. So we have read your presentations. They've been available to the public. So I would like you to basically summarize or add something that's not on your presentation that's been in writing. I think that'll make things go much smoother and will keep everybody on track. Having said that,
Mr. Vice Mayor?
Yes.
I have two changes I'd like to make before we start.
Please do.
The first one is tab 10 in your packet. The improper presentation, I've handed it out to you three gentlemen right there. I owe it to Councilman Moss. So I just want to make sure you have that before we start. And then secondly, I would recommend that we have Mary Tagge present her Car Week presentation first, which is on tab 11, because it is her birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mary. Happy birthday to you. Kings and Queens. Hey, Mary. And she can now make the presentation because she's 21 and she's legal. Having said that, can we proceed? Good. All right, the first group is Village of Kindness in Schools.
Mary, go first.
I thought Mary was going to leave. Just teasing you, Mary. Oh, God, Francis. We talked about Mary, not you, okay?
This is like the one I fear the most.
You have 3 minutes, so begin. I'm at a council meeting. I can't talk to you. I'll call you later.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Mary Tagge. I live at 610 North Master Drive for 35 years. Thank you for allowing Francis and I to speak to council on behalf of the Key Biscayne Car Week. and making it part of the 2022 budget. First, I want to thank council members, mayor, village manager, Todd, Mariana, Key Biscayne Community Foundation, Melissa and Andrew for all their help and assistance in the 2019 Key Biscayne Car Week. It was our first year and proved to be a huge success. We missed 2019 for obvious reasons. This year will prove to be even more spectacular with the return of the Miami Grand Prix after an almost 40-year absence. We look at this event hosted by Emerson Fittipaldi, two-time Formula One winner and two-time NASCAR winner, as a kickoff to the Miami Grand Prix to take place in May of 2022. Francis and I envision this event to evolve into a concours d'elegance, which they have in Monaco, Pebble Beach, Amelia Island. I think Key Biscayne is really primed for it.
So, can I be heard?
Yes.
Can you see my lipstick? I mean, that's very important. You know, I'm on camera. So, first of all, hi, Ed.
Hi, Francis.
First of all, we also want to thank our Public Works Department, our fire department, our permitting department, because in 2019, when we did this the first time, you all came through with forgiving our expenses for all the permitting. And we're going to humbly, and I know it's hard for you all to believe I'm humble, but I'm humbly asking you to do that again. And when our new police chief is in place, we'd also like to ask for a police escort for Emerson when he drives the Spirit of Miami up Crandon Boulevard. The great news this time is we're 6 months ahead of the Formula One Grand Prix, and Emerson Fittipaldi, the chairman of this event, is already working with the Formula One team so that Key Biscayne Car Week is a sponsor, so that they're our major sponsor. Sorry about that. And we want this to be the first go-to event of the whole Miami Grand Prix season, so to speak, which, as Andrew Britton so wonderfully pointed out to me, will make Key Biscayne the go-to place. It's not going to be the island that has the Ritz-Carlton. It's going to be a village that everybody has to visit. And like last year, we're going to have all our businesses and restaurants on display. We're going to make sure that they can sell their food and their wares. And this year, we're also having two competitions, the Monaco Cup for the national and international car competition. And those cars are going to come from like the Penske Group, other F1 companies. I mean, Emerson is arranging all of that for us. And then the one that's near and dear to our heart, of course, is the Key Biscayne Collectors Cup for the best all-around car from Key Biscayne exhibitors. And my understanding is that Bill, or as we lovingly know him, Bicycle Bill, is already working with someone to get 10 cars. I think he wants a trophy. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, Bill? We already have several sponsors and are ready
30
to be.
seconds.
How many?
30 seconds.
Oh, okay. We already have, huh? Yeah. Well, it's a community event, a family event. We have several sponsors who are already here to make it so. Thank you, Council.
Is there anyone who public comments on this particular car week?
I just wonder if they can.
Now it goes to the council. You go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go.
I just wonder if you can also take over the Rickenbacker Speedway that we are so, and maybe you can. Police is not. Well, thank goodness it's getting a little better thanks to Metro.
Yeah, it's true.
Day.
Maybe we won't have a chief
maybe you
yet.
can. It's a possibility for the.
Frank, Fred, Allison, Ignacio.
I do have one comment. I want to say it's.
Can you excuse me? Can you?
Yeah.
Yes. Good. Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
and this isn't specific to this group. It's to, I guess every group is going to make a presentation tonight. I had an exchange of emails about this with Melissa McCon-White regarding the community groups. I received the package just in general, if you can keep in the back of your mind for the future as we go through this budget workshop until the end of September. I would ask for each group that has received money from the village in the past to present an accounting of the money what they have done with the money in the past year. I didn't see that in the information that was given, but I would ask
money
that
we
of
spent
this
last
group
year.
and everybody else. That's it.
Thank you, Ignacio. So one more thing, let me add. What Ignacio said applies to everybody. So after this meeting, we'd like to see what the results were if you had money previously from us, what you spent, what the resources were. As far as I'm concerned personally, I want to see sources and uses. I see a lot of uses, what you're going to spend money for, a lot of things, a lot of companies, excuse me, a lot of groups have sources. I want to sources and uses from every group that's applicable. Okay, thank you.
Ed, can I?
Yes, please.
I think the one thing that I would say, I was looking at the KPIs, you have number of participants. And I think that what this group is doing is an economic developments. So you're bringing money in for the businesses too. So I don't know if there's a way to work with the chamber to try to somehow figure out how much money is coming in from this event, how it helps the businesses around here, rentals, things like that. I think that could also be a good KPI more than just the attendees.
Yeah, the chamber's already working with us.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Can you come up? Can you
Please,
come up? Because they won't be able to hear you on the TV.
I was going to mention there was a huge...
Excuse me, Tatiana. Name?
Oh, Tatiana Kilketti, Key Biscayne Chamber of Commerce, 88 West McIntyre Street.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to mention there was a huge spike in our website traffic during your guys' events. So I have a feeling that there was a lot of participation and a lot of interest in Key Biscayne during that time. So we did notice that at the time of your event. So
thank you.
Kudos to you guys.
Anybody other comments? Frank?
Just, I think a point of order. I think that the allocation of time for each of these presentations is supposed to be 5 minutes.
I gave them 6 because they're 2 people. So I did 3 and 3.
Because the 3 minutes.
Because Francis will give me hell if I didn't give the extra minutes. I gave him 6.
We just gave you all is a poster from the 2019.
Thank you, Francis. Like next is
you look great. You look great.
Next thing. Next thing, Village of Kindness, Kindness in the Schools presentation. We're going to give you 6 minutes because you have 2 people.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Do we move this? Okay, down. Okay, Laudi Ibarra and Kim Vincent from the Kindness Committee. Our idea is to promote kindness around Key Biscayne, around the kids and the schools, and basically trying to get the community together to respect each other. Oh, that's us. Okay, so some of the things we did this year during COVID was spreading kindness, especially through art. We did sidewalk chalk campaign and spread love. We also had postcards that some artists from the Key made. and they were able to send it to their families or to orphanage or people that needed love. We also started with our kindness ambassadors, and we've been giving medals to kindness ambassadors here in the Key that have been nominated through our email, and they send us information on why they deserve it. We have 2 amazing people here, which are Melissa that already earned it, and Ron. Thank you guys for spreading kindness around the Key. We also did a bucket project, which I don't know if you guys have picked up garbage around the beach. We did a project with Bill Bax, and each artist was able to paint the bucket and to encourage how to take care of the environment and also be kind to the environment. We would also, we have articles on kindness and various newsletters and trying to spread kindness to our social media. These were our postcards. And hold on, I'm sorry, where's the picture? There. And these are some of our kindness ambassadors. We also give gift cards to our crossing guards and some of the staff from the public school system, the cafeteria employees, and everybody that's been so helpful all the time to our kids and trying to, keep us safe and help our community.
Name and address, please.
Kim Vincent, 575 Crandon Boulevard, apartment 606. So we were given $5,000 for the previous year, and we have spent half of that in these different initiatives that Laudy talked about with our Christmas spirit, like she mentioned, to the office staff, the cross guards, people that we thought really needed it in this time where, economics were not so good for everybody. Our Kindness Ambassadors program, it started roughly a month ago, I think in the month of May. And our idea is to really get people to keep nominating other people, to kind of be looking out for those stories of just positive initiatives. That some of the stories these kids have shared with us are just amazing. They're like middle school, high school, and they're creating campaigns to just really care about people that are in situations that are not, the best of economics as well. The bucket project we talked about, that was actually a free initiative. We didn't use any funding for that. The artists, we're trying to get now the projects going forward to unite the community through art. And so a lot of the projects we're gonna have is gonna be half through the school and half through art. And the idea is to get families and kids and artists to start doing projects that can basically promote kindness through cards, through sending things to people that are in need. And then we're hoping to do this in the Village Green. And then we have speakers coming, but because of COVID, we did not use any of the funding for the speakers. So we have hopefully next school year to bring Brian Williams, which he's been on our radar for like a year now. And again, because of COVID, we didn't think it was cost justified to bring a Zoom presentation for $2,000. So I think that's, yeah, so we're requesting 5,000 again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody in the audience, public comments? For, against, or add anything? Okay, thank you much. Gentlemen, any questions?
They're the best. They should do more.
Questions? Brett? Allison? Ignacio?
No, I didn't have any questions, but Ed, I just texted you. I have my video off because I'm out of town and it's kind of lagging, but I don't want people to think I'm not here. I'm here, actively listening.
I know you're there. Ignacio?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next presentation, Key Biscayne Children's Business Fair.
For the public and Peter, may I, Mr. Vice Mayor?
You're my guest.
No, I think to restate what you said earlier, that we've seen the slides.
Yeah,
we've had it.
We've read this. We've read everything.
So don't delay. Get up and do something spontaneous.
We've seen the pictures.
It's just that every time we set up, it takes a while.
Vice Mayor London, Jocelyn just reminded me that we may have some members from the public participating via Zoom. So you may want to ask Peter to read the instructions, see if anybody wants to
I didn't
speak.
see any names on the numbers.
All right. So if you see someone,
we'll do that. Okay. Thank you.
Excuse me, Vice Mayor.
That's Jocelyn.
Do you think Peter should read the instructions for the public?
He will
one person.
after this young lady makes her presentation.
Okay,
Can I ask you some questions in the meantime? Because it's probably better use of the time.
Thank you. Right. So my name is Fernanda Torres, and I believe you want my address. It's 181 Crandon Boulevard, apartment 408, Key Colony. So first of all, I want to say thank you for having this and giving us the time to expose our ideas. I'm talking on behalf of myself and my partner, Cristina Dalmau, who she can't be here, but she sends her regards. And what we do, and it's the third time, hopefully this October 3rd, that it's going to happen here in Key Biscayne, we host an event for young entrepreneurs. We aim to host for 8 to 16 years old. And what our objective is to motivate them to turn their ideas into action. So how do we do this? We invite them to register through an interactive process, which is a computer game where they talk about their product, they talk about their price, their place, and their promotion. So it's kind of like a business exercise in the computer. Then 2 weeks after the real event, the hands-on experience, or the fair, if you want to call it like that, what we do is we host them and we invite them to hear a real entrepreneur or a grown-up entrepreneur. So we've been having, we had a Indy cars race, Adrian Fernandez one time, and then we had this business teacher from the University of Miami, Maria Lorca, to just give them like a little bit of knowledge, about what's a real entrepreneur or a replica entrepreneur. Super fun for the kids. Then the day of the fair, usually we have 54 businesses, which have at least maximum 3 kids participating in each business. And what do? They sell from lemonade, which is the basic standard entrepreneurship startup. And we also have like 17-year-old kids who have promoted like a self-controlled robot that goes under the water. And we have them, there's at least we have calculated like 1,000 to 1,200 people, families going to visit this event and supporting the kids. And then we also work with a nonprofit called Hermanos de la Calle, which is also a local from here. And three weeks after the event, we cook in one of our sponsors, and the kids take the food with the homeless, because they do donate 5% of their profits into Hermanos de la Calle. So they, we want to make sure they know where the profits went. So they cook and we go out. If to me, what we ask from the village the biggest expense we have is the tents, because, we provide a tent for the kid, table, chairs, tablecloths to make it a nice event, obviously. And that's what we're asking for. It usually goes for 6,000. And obviously, because we don't want to say no to any entrepreneur. We're always trying to host the most number of entrepreneurs. We do end up with a waiting list every year. So if we can make it happen, the more budget that we have, the better, because we don't have to say no to anybody. What else we do? We're very proud to say that we have 37 sponsors. Everything is local from here. And everything that we use, or we hire, or we print, or we do anything, it's also from here, from Key Biscayne. So we also use like their businesses, but businesses support us in some way. We provide snacks for the kids. It's a truly, truly fun event. I know a lot of people from here have been here. And so I want to say thank you for supporting this event. We work with the Chamber of Commerce, with the Key Biscayne Foundation. We work with everybody. I want to say thank you. But to me and for you guys, the most important is if you can support us on October 3rd, which is going to happen. go and see it for yourself, because once you're there, you can see the truly value of supporting young entrepreneurs. It's the few events in the key that it's for children. So that's my pitch. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry about the presentation. I was confused.
The presentation was excellent. Anybody, public comments from the audience here? If not, Peter, you want to make the, I'm sorry, we have a public comment. Come up, please. You have to come up and name and on the record. If it's good and you agree with it, just say it's great.
It's a wonderful event. I think
Excuse me, name and address.
Vivian Gallego Mendez, 644 Cranton Boulevard, Key Biscayne. I think it's a wonderful event, especially for our children's self-esteem and creativity. So if you guys can support it again, I think that we're going to have even a bigger turnout than the year before.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else in the audience? Peter, can you make the announcement for the public? We'll start on the.
Yes, sir.
Brett, do you have any comments while he's thinking about making the announcement? No? Luis?
I think this is fabulous. I wanted to ask the manager or the financial guy why I thought we had supported it last year.
Last year we asked.
We did not give you money last year. I remember voting for it.
Thank you. No, what happened last year, if you remember, is that it was because of COVID. It was decided that the budget was going to support only the events that in previous years were funded. So it was not our case because it was the first year we applied.
Okay.
So
thank you.
Although we appreciate it, and although it was going to happen in February, so we postponed it for October. So you can still support us this year.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Frank?
Thank you.
I basically expressed my appreciation for the impetus and effect of all of these groups and my sense of their worth. At the beginning, it's a universal comment. Thank you.
Ignacio?
I'm good, thanks.
Allison?
No comment. Thank you.
Brett, no comment. Okay. Peter, you want to see if there's any comments on the phone?
Yes, sir. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you watching us at home on channel 77 on Comcast, on channel 99 on AT&T Uverse, or streaming us live via our website, if you do wish to speak and have a comment or question, please call the following phone number, 305-365-7569. Then please enter the meeting ID of 231-627-8415. For those of you that are currently in the meeting and do wish to speak, either raise your hand through the Zoom app or dial star 9 on your telephones. Mr. Vice Mayor, I do have one caller with the telephone number ending in 025. Caller, please dial star 6 on your telephone now to unmute yourself. Caller, you are live.
Hi, this is Jamie Tompkins, 730 Curtis Wood Drive. Just wanted to give my appreciation for this program and these ladies. They've done a fantastic job in getting kids motivated about business and understanding what a business plan is and marketing themselves. My girls have both participated in it and have loved it, absolutely loved it. I've also sponsored it as a business owner. So I just think this is an awesome program that these women do. Okay?
Thank you, Jamie. Next
Thanks,
is youth leadership. Presentation.
Hello, Mayor and Council. Can you hear me? Great.
Loud and clear.
Great, thanks. Temporarily renting in the Grove, looking for my next spot on the Key, 1725 Tiger Tail. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my heart, my golf cart, and my bike are still here awaiting my return. So shopping for a condo with all the faith in the world in our building and zoning departments. So I want to thank you, first of all, for your support of Youth Lead Change last year. It's enabled us to grow and to focus our work as a leadership incubator for all of our high school residents of Key Biscayne and those who attend our high school. So during this pandemic, we've had a chance to see that even in our island paradise, all teenagers are at risk. So Youth Lead Change provides a positive program which focuses on respect, compassion, and innovation in training young leaders, many of whom are already involved in projects and clubs that impact hundreds of their peers. So we started out in person, and of course, just like everyone else, we morphed into online platform. Students learn empathy, inclusion, diversity awareness, and civics and business skills, community engagement. And this year we have a new theme introducing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Among the courses that we've launched this year, this one was before the pandemic began, and we continued for 5 months. It was perhaps our most popular course, led emotional and mental resilience, taught by a renowned favorite professor of NYU University, Dr. Megan Poe, MD, PhD. We're planning on continuing this course starting in September. We also collaborated on a pilot teaching civics, citizen superpowers, and that was centered around local and state government with an emphasis on learning advocacy. We're also in the middle of a course in expeditionary leadership taught by a thought leader in that area, educator Mark Brown. It's modeled on the values and the educational structure of the founder of Outward Bound, Kurt Hahn. Emphasizes courage, empowerment of teams as a leader, and service to others. Our summer internship is a research-based internship, and it's engaged also with 13 mentors, 5 PhDs, a couple of also a number of current university professors and subject experts. The curated resources around these goals are going to be publicly available to all students and anyone interested on our new partner platform, HANX. Outward Bound, who continues to be our partner but was on hiatus for most of this pandemic, is now running courses and confirmed that they're also going to be offering a dozen scholarship Outward Bound courses to Youth Lead Change Award winners. And here's our revenue and expense report.
We have that.
Of course, yeah, but uses and sources. The uses really shifted to speakers and instructors. And then, of course, website and media became all important. So this next year, we're going to continue the courses that we began this year, and we're going to be adding 2 more courses. One is a mental emotional course, another, that's called Tree School, and then issues and action-based course focused on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, think globally, act locally.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any public comments in the audience? Step right up.
Oh.
Name and address, please.
Hello, my name is John Fernandez. I'm 161 Crandon Boulevard. I just wanted to share really fast because I've actually had the pleasure of working with her through actually all 3 of the events that she talked about. The mindfulness with Dr. Poe, which really helped me during the school year, to relax. And I actually learned a lot of these things that I would have never been exposed to normally. the Vote the Future pilot course, which I was able to participate at the end of the school year. And I'm actually really excited because I think I'm going to bring it to Mass next year. I really want to. I've already spoken with the organizer and she seems super interested. And now the Sustainable Development Goals with HANX, I'm actually in the process of doing it now. You know, I'm in the research mentorship and I just wanted to thank Pat because these are really awesome opportunities. And I'm so excited that we're going to be able to continue them next year. So, yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience? Gentlemen, Frank.
With gratitude. Thank you.
Luis.
No, sir.
Brett. Ignacio.
I'm good.
Allison.
I'm good, thank you.
Pat, I have one question since everybody else is good.
Yes.
How many people that are not Key Biscayne residents benefit from this program versus Key Biscayne residents? Because you're making it available to both Key Biscayne and non-Key Biscayne. And to me, I feel that if we're going to do anything, we have to limit it to Key Biscayne people. I know that's selfish, but this taxpayers' money is coming from Key Biscayne.
Yes. Still hear me? Good. It's actually been like 95% Key Biscayne residents. We include Mast Academy students. That's our high school.
No, excuse me. The ones who live on Key Biscayne or they go to Mast Academy?
Live on Key Biscayne.
So 95% live on Key Biscayne?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Peter?
Yes, sir.
I'm waiting for you to make your normal announcement.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that are watching us at home on Channel 77, Channel 99, or streaming us via our website, if you do wish to speak or ask any questions, please dial the following phone number, 305-365-7569. Then please enter the meeting ID of 231-627-8415. For those of you that are currently in the meeting and do wish to speak, please either raise your hand through the Zoom app or dial *9 on your telephones. Mr. Vice Mayor, I have no one signed up to speak.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much, Pat, for the presentation.
Thank you.
Very good. The next one is active seniors on the key. Mr. Stone, please.
Painter gave me the cleaner. I have to clean it afterwards. Good evening. My name is Ed Stone, 170 Ocean Lane Drive.
Ed, move the thing closer to you. No, microphone. There you go. Fine.
Is that better? Okay. And Bill Durham is with me. He didn't want to speak, but his presence is wonderful. The Ask Club is in its 13th year. For those of you that forgot, some of you have moved into the 13-year range during this time. I have a couple of you that I know are now part of us. It's been a very exciting time because we've had one heck of a year, as you know, and I think this year proves that the Ask Club is vital to this community. The inclusion, we've had over 1,000 participants in our different events. We had 950 of our seniors were inoculated via the foundation. I think the mental health of our citizens has been greatly enhanced by having something to do every day. You all receive the weekly bulletin, I believe, and it's unbelievable. You can start at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning and go till 7 o'clock at night, and there's an activity every day. And this is a coordination with the foundation and Roxy. And again, we want to thank Todd and the village and the manager. It's your job now. And we're very happy to have you here. But it's just unbelievable what we've been through. So you have the program. I don't think I have to talk it, but the people of the seniors of Key Biscayne, and though you are many of them, know how good this has been. And we never would have made it without your help. So thank you.
Thank you. Bill, you want to say anything? Okay. Any public comments from the audience? Hearing none. Frank?
the effects of the Ask Club are so pervasive and so positive. I remember a time before this existed. The difference is very significant. Thank you for all you do.
Luis?
I don't know. I mean, we talk about this presentation, you talk about the budget. If you don't go and engage with these senior citizens and how this program has given them spirit, youth, this is by far the best program, I believe, in Key Biscayne. It serves, I continue to say, the underserved silent majority, which is our seniors. We buy public parks, and soon we turn them into playing fields, and they're being squeezed. This is their last resource. I am actually have only one problem, Ed. I think you should be asking more. I really do. I mean, there should be more programs. I'm more conservative fiscally than him, but this is like this is really a superstar program. I know a lot of seniors. It's the biggest difference in their lives.
It really
is. And you have my full support, but maybe you can come up with other things that you can do.
Thank you.
Well, the village.
Which, by the way, Mr. Vice Mayor, consistently doing it within budget, never asking for an increase, which, it says it all, okay?
Thank you.
So,
Fred?
Good job, Mr.
No,
the biggest mistake he's made is bringing Bill.
That's true, but anyway, everybody can make a mistake. Fred, you have no comment?
No.
Ignacio?
I'm good.
Allison?
Yeah, I just wanted to add on a little bit about how amazing I think the Ask Club has been. I think it's a great organization, but the thing that I noticed was the tremendous impact that they had during this pandemic. And I'm sure that no one could have imagined that type of need when the group was formed. And I think it is just, we're so fortunate that it was there and ready to go to be sort of deployed to address the needs of our seniors when this pandemic struck. And I don't even want to think of what it would have been like for our seniors had the Ask Club not been there and ready to just adjust to a virtual platform and to offer all that they did. So I would like to echo my gratitude to Ed and everyone who works with the Ask Club, and also just to point out just how lucky we are that former councils had the foresight to support this organization and that it was there and ready to go. I think we're incredibly lucky.
Thank you, Allison. And thank you all. It is true. Everything you've all said.
Well, I have
Even
one
if you want to
thing
give us more money,
I have
that's
something
fine.
to say, and that is that I think we're lucky, we're blessed to have you, Bill, the other people who have put it together, have stayed with it each year, have seen it grow, recruited people, you've been working on me for years, and the activities you put on, the way you've done it, the whole inclusiveness, it's just phenomenal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next is Key Biscayne Historical and Heritage Society.
Do we want public comments for the Ask Club?
Nobody, he gave the, which nobody called on, sees light up.
Okay.
Now, Ann thinks just because
That's
she brought
okay,
some
I'll
key
just
lime
talk.
pies that we're going to give her a lot of money.
Right.
I know her. Ulterior motive.
Before I start, I do want to say something about
Sorry,
this.
Ann. Name and address.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ann Tainer, 170 Ocean Lane Drive. I do want to say something about the senior program. I mean, a million years ago, Ed called me and said, I want to do the senior program on the Key. I thought he was nuts because I didn't think I was a senior. But anyway, he kind of put it together, and it's become very popular. It's worked, it's done well, and it has to do with Ed and the foundation. So I just want to make that comment. I'm here on behalf of the History and the Heritage Society. Our mission is to collect, display histories of Key Biscayne, spread the island lore and promote and enhance our sense of community and this island heritage. We develop programs, events that are life learning matters for locals and to contribute to the public life on Key Biscayne. Last year we were given $15,000. With that, unfortunately, we did the pop-up museum, and if any of you want to see it, call me. I'll be happy to show it to you. We got it up just about the time everything shut down. So I have done a couple of private tours through there, and people seem to like it. We got Terry to, with the $15,000 we got Terry to do some videos of locals with the history and put it on Channel 77. We were very, very fortunate to get Dr. George to come over and view the museum and put it on YouTube. And if you haven't seen it, it's still there. So far, it's got about 900 reviews. Our idea is to, right now, we've had it from 1924 up to when they built the bridge and opened Crandon Park. Our idea is to, once it opens on a full-time basis, is to maybe rotate it every 6 months or so. And with the money you give us, that we'll do the wording and the framing of the pictures. We'd like to open it to the schools and set up a program with the schools maybe in September when the schools open again, and open it up to the public fully and rotate the museums. We'd like to do a TV maybe with the lectures that Joan Gill Blank has done and Father Libby, that people can go in and watch them. And that's our idea. With like 15,000 again. And if you want to give us more, I'll bring you more pies.
Thank you, Ann. Ron, you going to say anything?
Council, manager. Thank you. Ron Herbal, 786 Fernwood Road, Key Biscayne, Florida. I just can't emphasize how important the Historical Society is. If it wasn't for Dr. Maggs back in the early days, we probably wouldn't have had one. You know, we've done some great things. We have the restored fire truck, which was the first fire truck from Key Biscayne. We had the original phone booth from Key Biscayne. And we have many other projects that we would like to do. One of them being working with the Calusa Playhouse. You know, that's a shame and it's a disgrace what's happened there. So I just want to thank you all for this. We would like to have more than 15,000, yes. And there are more projects that we need to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Ann. Any public comments from the audience? Gentlemen, Frank?
Said it, you know, many times. Our history here is so rich, and it's old and it's new and it's endlessly interesting. The theme of entropy occurs to me. Without some kind of organizational structure like the society, it's and the collaboration that comes from it, it's hard to get work done, and there's so much work to do. So thank you for participating and leading.
Luis? Fred?
I just want to thank you guys as well. You know, I've been a board member, and what you do is very important. I think what Councilmember Kaplan was alluding to is that we have a lot of things that we want to save, our history, and without you, a lot of it could be lost. So I think it's really, really important what this group does. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank the foundation because they were instrumental in getting us the pop-up museum and getting it going and getting it started. And they had a lot of resources that we didn't have to be able to do it. So thank you very much. And thanks to Melissa.
Allison?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, you know, thank you to the Historical Society. I think this is a very, very valuable group, but I also just wanted to say, and I'm sure that I'm not the only one who has had the thought cross my mind as we've watched these different groups come up with things geared towards the young people of our community, that we have some concerns and different things that I guess maybe I could try to politely say we'd like to see a shift culturally in terms of some like conduct related behaviors on our streets. And I think an amazing thing is the ability for kids to have a real feeling of the connection to the history of Key Biscayne and an ownership of the community and a belonging to the community they live in when we have an expectation that they behave a certain way. And I think that the idea of bringing the Historical Society and having a connection with the pop-up museum, with the schools, is a great, great start down that path of really welcoming when new people move here and when their kids live here, to help them forge that connection and pride in where they live, and to become really good stewards of the island that we all love. So I loved hearing that, and I think it's really a great thing.
Well, we've kind of laid back because we've waited till they opened up everything. And hopefully that'll be by the end of the summer, definitely by September. And then I'd like to start a regular, day or a couple of days that we bring over the school of kids and do a tour just on a kid basis idea.
I think it's great. And please feel free to reach out to me if I can help you facilitate that in any way.
Peter, any call-ins?
No, sir. Would you like me to do my spiel?
No, you did it enough. I will heed my own advice and recommendations and not repeat what everybody said, but they all said it. You did a great job. Keep it up. Thank you.
I have one more item, if I may.
Sure.
We're getting ready to celebrate our 30th anniversary as being incorporated. And the Historical Society has kind of somewhat become the keeper of records, for this period of time. And we're compiling that, we're getting it together. And what happens here tonight, tomorrow, it'll be history. So we really have to keep on top of everything. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Mr. Vice Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Ron, on that point, because I've asked this many times, the original Charter Commission, of which two of us are still here, myself and Betty Sim. When we worked, we paid for a videoing of all of our meetings so that we will have a record. That was when we had VHS, a record of what constitutionally people say the intent further to the language of the Charter. I have been searching for that. I don't know where it went. It got burned, it got disappeared. Maybe you know, because that's a very valuable asset.
It's on I believe additional, there's within.
I don't care if you converted it to modern technology, but the body of it is saved.
As far as I know, there's a lot of, we went in and we separated all the history and basically put it kind of in order. And there's a lot of incorporation that is together. And we hoped for the anniversary, maybe to display it in the side room of the pop-up museum. And we'll look for that, what you're discussing, and see if I can find it and put it together. I don't know if Melissa knows about it.
So you think it was digitized?
We're here to discuss money. We got all these people waiting, so sorry. I'm sure you'll find the thing and tell Louise.
Yeah, that's all else. I want to know. This is because Ron talked about saving. That is the ultimate, and we paid for it out of our own pocket. So let's just find it.
That's right. Let them put that. Not tonight. They're not going to find it here.
No. That's all I wanted. I didn't want to have a discussion.
I hear you. That's fine.
Yeah.
We do have the room for incorporation set up. We got it set up for the anniversary, so it's in the little, the smaller room within the office, and it's ready to be on show. And that was because Council Member Laredo had asked us to do it last year, and we had the pandemic, but we were finally able to achieve that this year.
Thank you, Melissa. Next item is feline trap, neuter, and return program. Susan Sawyer.
Hello, everyone. Ed, Council.
Very good to be here with you.
Excuse me, put the headphone
I have to
on.
put my headset on in order to be heard. And does Peter have our slides?
That's good. No.
We have them.
Super. It's with pleasure that I provide you with a brief update on
Name and address, please.
Oh, sorry. Lisa Cornsey, 590 Ocean Drive, apartment 4B. Ocean Drive, Venice.
Lisa, can you your speaker, yeah, up a little bit.
That's good.
Look at it. Does that help?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. It's with pleasure I provide all of you with a brief update on the Key Biscayne Feline TNR, Trap Neuter Return Program, which has morphed since its inception. A reminder that our work honors Dr. Adair Alsbach. It was her caring spirit that sparked the initiative in 2012. Since her untimely passing, the leadership and tireless efforts of Dr. Susan Sawyer are given very high marks. She's in Wyoming and not with us for tonight, for that reason. Her steadfast commitment, backed by a tiny but mighty group of caring volunteers, we thank the Council for their ongoing support of our community service. Compassion is the core value of our work, targeting the ongoing goal of controlling Key Biscayne's homeless feline population. The program's success has only been with the village's budgeted support. It's a collective hope that you agree on its importance, approving of the work, our advocacy. What does that mean? Okay, so it can continue. The successes continue to be demonstrated by the community cap population being controlled with TNR as a preventive strategy. The program's growth has expanded, however, and I just want to hit on those points quickly. So the work continues. The slide's not there, but okay. You received the slides, and the first is describing the 42 cats impacted by our program and their disposition. The second slide covers the associated expenses through mid-June 2021. A very important, rewarding offshoot of our program is when we find kittens. Kittens versus adult felines are most easily adopted and provide endless joy for their families. We all know the adoption rate for cats and dogs went up during the pandemic for the obvious benefit. The kittens help us find an elusive mother who also requires trapping and neutering. The kittens are an engaging and captivating tool for community awareness, especially for our children and their families. It should be noted this aspect of the program requires a willing volunteer to provide weeks of fostering and socializing after vaccination and wellness screening. They then become spayed at appropriate weight and age. This is a time-intensive labor of love. On our slide, bullet 3 speaks to a more recent occurrence I'd like to make everybody aware of. It's an unfortunate and increasing reality, and that's the prevalence of cat abandonment by homeowners who have sold their homes, private home sites, property sold, maybe demolished for a new home. Cats are being left behind. We've been notified for this and have intervened. A unique example of this involved a heartfelt one with elderly owners on Woodcrest. One spouse died, and a month later, the other did. The estate put the cats out on the street, and a caring neighbor intervened, fed them for as long as she could, and then called us. We managed to get addresses and contacts, but all of our efforts went unanswered. So we fed the cats as volunteers twice daily. We cleared their health status, and then we went on to successfully place all those abandoned cats. Finally, the most recent expansion of our program has included fielding calls for an injured or a dead cat, some requiring euthanasia after a serious injury, most often caused by cars, bikes, or golf carts. This has established a partnered relationship with our Key Biscayne Public Works Department when possible, and especially when outside the department's working hours. We manage this important service ourselves to prevent further suffering and answer the caller's distress. In closing, we're proud of what we do as a valued public service and appreciate your understanding and support of it for all these years. We are now beginning our 9th year, so we're very grateful for your ongoing support and hope it'll continue for years to come.
Thank you, Lisa. Any comments from the audience? Public comments? Ignacio?
I'm good.
Allison? Brett? Luis?
Yes.
Frank?
Oh, I hit the button.
Anybody call in? I don't see any. Nope. Okay, fine. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Next item is zero waste culture. Looks like half the room are going to come up on
My
this.
goodness.
I guess the meeting will be over as soon as I get done.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's not. Peter, what are you looking for slides?
The slides for them.
We got them.
We have them.
We
have
have
slides. We have no. We're.
Just bear with us a second. I think you'll enjoy them. Do I need to put the headset on?
You will need.
Hello, am I in?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Good evening, and thank you first for welcoming us and for having supported us in the past. I am Taima Hervas at 250 Galen Drive, and we are a zero waste culture. Not one of us, but all of us. We are all about collaboration, working together. First and foremost, we're about the education, about how neighbors working together can tackle climate change. You very kindly funded us last year and the year before, and we made a commitment to you for one of our programs called the Key Biscayne Community Compost. And we are very happy and proud to say that your money went to the right place, and we are self-sustaining now. We're still here, so hold that thought. But
not completely self-sustaining.
No, we have big plans, and I think the big plans are for our community and for our students, for our seniors, for all of our volunteers, and all of our community. I'm going to just sort of hold there, as hard as that is for me, and I would like to turn it over for one sentence and a very brief introduction from our team, because I really feel that they can say in the best way what we are and what we do. So we are.
Hello, you guys already heard me. My name is Jonathan. Say it again. Yeah, Jonathan Mendez, 161 Crandon Boulevard. So a few volunteers are going to speak. Just became an intern. Here's my little article that came out in the Islander recently. And actually, here we have the mayor that came to visit one of our compost sites. And you guys are going to hear all about it, but I just wanted to share to you how much a zero waste culture means to me. I started volunteering in January, and before I had no idea what composting, really what sustainability was, until I met some of these amazing people, and they really taught me, how important it is and how much you could really bond together through something so important. So.
Hi, my name is Marta Zapata, 881 Ocean Drive, and I volunteer at Zero Waste Culture 2 at the market, as we see in the picture, and also at Compost every Saturday. And now I'm also the intern, a volunteer, so I am part of how we get the volunteers to work at the market and volunteer at the Compost in order to include the younger generations. And like Johnny said, I really didn't know what compost was until I started, and it's a wonderful experience and a great way to make new friends as well. So yeah, thank you.
Hello, I'm Enzo Fouquet, Crandon Towers, apartment 410. I've been volunteering with a zero waste culture for over 8 months now. I knew Elena for a while before that with Soa Bag, and I'm really passionate about this program. I've always been interested in composting. I've always been interested in climate action and sustainability. And this has been a program that's allowed me and all of us to educate the community on these issues, and it's integral to meeting these climate goals that our community has and to reducing waste here. So thank you.
Hi, Mari Aviles, 107 East Enid Drive. I mostly work on volunteer on Saturdays for the market, and that's where we see the community getting together with a common goal between preventing, educating people about the use of plastics, providing different options, and helping our seniors picking up their compost, their organic material. And it's just seeing the community together is one of the most important things.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Gloria Johnson, 269 West Marsta Drive. I've been volunteering with A0 culture since March last year when the pandemic started. And I saw it growing from just, volunteers, with a few ideas, to a major program that I think benefits not the community and the island with the sustainability and with teaching, with education for the students. So I think, it's one idea that one person started, but it takes a village. And I think Key Biscayne is that kind of village. Thank you.
Hi, Jackie Kellogg, 115 Sunrise Drive. I am a founding board member. I've been working with Elena for a while. I lend my expertise with community involvement, community organizing. I'm a master gardener. I have also a degree in permaculture, and I'm currently the president of the Biscayne Bay Nature Center. I'm very excited about the work we've accomplished this past year or so, and bringing it into our public schools and our community, and really creating an incredible activity from the ground up, literally.
Thank you. 30 seconds.
Hello. Hi, my name is Elena Turralde. I'm the founder of Zero Waste Culture. I live in 150 Southeast 25th Road in Brickell. I used to be a neighbor in Key Biscayne, but I had to move. But my life is and my heart is in Key Biscayne. How do you pass the slides? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so we started the community compost back in October 3. We built the first compost ring in September, just a week before. And we are very happy to say that we have 125 families composting, bringing their food waste every week to the market, to the bucket to empty to the market. We have diverted 7.53 tons of organic waste from landfills. And we have started to distribute the soil to the members. We've already distributed 187 pounds of fertile soil, and we are looking forward to working with the village to put that soil, that incredible soil, to use with the village. We also want to make it easier for everyone that is not able to come to the market on Saturdays. In April, we started the first pickup with volunteers. We see here Gloria one day and the kids the other day. We always use Gloria's golf cart. She's a saint. And we're gonna change, hopefully soon. And we want to offer this especially for the seniors. Okay, so we also teach our students how to become more self-sufficient. We are teaching them how to repurpose things into things that we need. Like here they are making a sifter, which is needed for the, and here we are using a pile of wood that was discarded in bill bags to make different things. The first thing that we have built is a bike rack. We are going to bring, we are working on bringing to Key Biscayne refillables. So that means that we are done. Okay, so.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Any comments from the audience?
Fernanda.
Frank?
Oh, I'm not hearing
anything. Frank, I think you're
muted, I think.
I don't hear. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Frank. Luis, anything? Brett?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys. You know that I participate in the program. I'm there every other weekend, either my wife or I dropping off the bucket. But and I'm sorry I couldn't make it to do the tour at Bill Bags because I was out of town. But thank you very much for the work you guys are doing. It's very successful.
Yeah.
Ignacio?
Thank you.
I'm good.
Allison? Okay. Thank you so much. Next time, give me better directions and I'll be there. Thank you
so much.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
No, I wasn't.
4th of July committee?
I wasn't for that second. I saw
All right. Hi, my name's Rafael Momenya, 300 Sunrise Drive. I'm here on behalf of the Key Biscayne 4th of July Parade Committee, and I won't take up too much of your time. Very excited for this year's parade. We are glad to be back in full force this year. Last year's was canceled, more or less. We still pulled something off, but this year we're back 100%. And we are once again asking for the $30,000 contribution, which we did not spend any of last year. And I hope you'll approve that.
Thank you.
Oh, one more thing, if I could just
Yes,
add. If anybody wants to buy a button or a t-shirt, kb4.org. And if you want to sign up to be in the parade, we want every Key Biscayner in the parade, kb4.org. There's still time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any comments from the audience? Oh, let's see. Ignacio?
I'm good.
Allison?
Looking forward to it.
Fred?
Thank you for all the things you guys do, and I can't wait until Sunday.
Rain or shine.
Frank?
Great
Luis?
tradition.
Lovely, lovely.
We know you're going to a great parade. Thanks so much for your
Thank you.
effort.
Thank you
Really
guys for what you do.
Thank you. KB 4th of July Barbecue, Rotary Club of Key Biscayne Foundation.
The Rotary Club?
Yes. Mr. Brooks, you here? Joe Kellogg. Oh, well,
Go to the next one.
we'll go forward, come back. Next is Key Biscayne Car Week. We did. Next week is Key Biscayne Piano Festival.
Hey, Ed.
Yes.
Bob, yeah, Bob has his hand up.
Bob's had his hand up. Ed,
Where?
he's on Zoom. He's on Zoom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bob, we'll get back to you after them, okay? Can you hear me? Peter, tell Bob we'll get back to him.
No, I mean, I was blocked and couldn't get in for the presentation.
Stand by.
Stand by, you'll be
Thank you.
next. Thank you. Please put your headphone on so we can hear you. No, it's going to ruin your hair, but nothing we can do. Put this.
I need Peter. A second. Okay. Stay with me here. Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, Peter. Are we looking for slides again, Peter?
We have the slides.
Which slides? We don't need
No,
the slides.
this is something easier also for the people looking at this, not so detailed as the ones that you have. It's easier. So I start. Good evening, Village Council members, manager, clerk, and attorney. My name is Amaredi Fredegoto, Key Biscayne resident, 550 Ocean Drive, apartment 8F. Key Biscayne Piano Festival founder and executive director. With me, the Key Biscayne Piano Festival board members, Diana Coppola, Florencia Rinaldi, and Alejandro Cervalli. This is our proposal for financial support. But first, a short resume of our mission and past achievements. The Key Biscayne Piano Festival and more mission is cultivate the cultural and arts on Key Biscayne by offering and enriching worldwide level events to an audience of all ages, promote the island worldwide as the key of arts with the aim to increase tourism and attract investors, educate and inspire the island youth through community service, access to global top talent, and interaction with the performers during the rehearsals and after the concerts, bring together the community. Key Biscayne Piano Festival has attracted over 2,000 attendees and millions across 3 seasons. We have presented artists from 14 nationalities, hosted the local international diplomats, and members of chambers of commerce. Thanks to the contribution that you gave us last year, That a contribution helped to achieve 4 virtual concerts between September and November 2020 with worldwide top-level performers, a Christmas pop piano concert that surpassed 2.5 million views on social media with an opening video showing Key Biscayne, the same shown in the 4 virtual concerts. Produced a free full-scale concert with orchestra for village residents on the village green, presenting a dynamic program from classic to pop music. The first public event after pandemic to celebrate the Key community, resilience, and life. Promote the piano festival locally and globally through various medias. Sorry, skip this one and skip this one. The proposal for the fourth season is for 3 main programs. So no, it's not just one program anymore, 3 main programs for a total of 21 events. Program 1, 5 concerts with top artists in collaboration with international renowned institutions like the Miami International Piano Festival and Frost School of Music. Program 2, the free holiday season piano concert at the Monaco Pool in collaboration again with Sony Music Latin. The same that reached 2.5 million views last year, but this for the 2021 larger, adding children chorus and orchestra. And the program number 3, Keys on the Key. This is totally something new. A free 3-day weekend with 5 pianos performing simultaneously across different locations in the center of Key Biscayne, making a total of 15 individual events across these 3 days. We will invite artists from across Miami-Dade County to participate. This will be an inclusive concept focusing on diversity. There will be no limits in age, race, nationality, and levels of professionalism. These pianists will perform from a variety of styles such as classical, pop, new age, and jazz. Our Keys on the Key concept has received a grant from the Miami-Dade Cultural Affairs County for its uniqueness. For 3 days, Key Biscayne will be the center of culture for the residents of Miami-Dade County and visitors. Restaurants of the Key will be invited to participate. For these 21 events that we promote the Key at different levels, from local to international, we are asking the amount of $94,320.
Thank you. Thank you. Any comments from the audience? Yes. Please come up.
She's one of our volunteers, Marta Zapata.
Okay. She's probably your daughter, pretty girl. Oh.
Hi, my name is Marta Zapata, 881 Ocean Drive, and I have had the great pleasure volunteering with Amarili, my wonderful piano teacher. And I can truly say that it is a wonderful experience in which people from all ages, even young and seniors, they all go there and they're ready to feel the music and they're eager to watch the show. And it's just, it has such a huge turnout always, and it's absolutely magnificent. So yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Ignacio?
you.
I'm good.
Allison?
Yes, I was wondering if, similar to the question we had about Car Week, if we could try to get some quantifying from the chamber, if they saw any kind of impact from this event. I was interested to hear about the hits.
Tatiana, they are asking if you have an increasement in the viewers or visitors in the webpage during the event.
Once again, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Tatiana Chiocchetti, Key Biscayne Chamber of Commerce. I have to say the Piano Festival is one of the most beautiful additions to the island for cultural reasons. And what she's able to put together with her very small team is really, I feel really great and proud to have that at the Key, which brings business from off the Key in her. I think it's a really wonderful event. I'm delighted to have her in Key Biscayne.
Thank you.
So I haven't really looked at the website component. Tell me.
Sorry,
I didn't hear what you said.
I don't disagree with what you said, and I certainly didn't mean to sound like I
didn't hear what you said
negatively. I just feel like it's helpful for us if there is ever any data that we can quantify the impact on the Key. So, for example, when someone else asked about Car Week and you talked about the hits on the website, that was helpful to me. And it's helpful for me when I speak to residents about why we support some of the events that we do support. So if you have any kind of data like that or something, that would be helpful.
I don't, but I will look back on the data and then take it from there.
Okay,
and I know just,
that would be great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Luis?
May I add?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Frank?
I can't wait to start piano lessons.
Okay. Any call-in comments? If not, thank you very much.
May I add just one thing?
Be real quick.
Yeah, no, it is. It's from the inside of the Miami-Dade Cultural Affairs Board when they discuss our Keys on the Key proposal. I felt really sad because some members, they say no, why we are giving money to a rich community. And most part of them, they say because there is no culture in Key Biscayne. They don't neither have a theater. So I think that we need to just fix this image that we have outside, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much again.
Now we're back to Bob Brooks. And that is the
4th of July.
No,
barbecue.
we're on Key Biscayne. No, where am I?
Is he on, Robert?
Yes. Hi, good evening.
There we go. The 4th of July
good evening,
barbecue.
council members. Well, I think the richness of
Excuse
all
me,
the programs.
Bob, name and address, please.
I'm sorry, Robert Brooks. My heart is in Key Biscayne, but I live at the Pines of Delray North in Delray, and yet go to Miami once a week for my involvement in the Key since 1990. I'm just wowed by the richness of the programs that we have on Key Biscayne. The Rotary Club for the past 40 plus years has been putting on community events, beginning with the art festival many years ago and culminating in two major events that we put on, actually three events that we put on in Key Biscayne. The one that we're talking about today, there are two of them. One is the 4th of July barbecue. Several years ago, we were asked by the village if we would, as a club, take over the barbecue. We did so without funding. And we managed to handle it ourselves and see how it was going to work out. It's worked out well. To your comment, Ed, about sources and uses of funds, I couldn't agree with you more. You should look at the form that we received and make modifications to it so we organizations can provide what it is that is really needed and provide it the way that the council wants it. Due to COVID, we did not have the event last year, neither did we request funding last year. And this year we're putting on the event next week on Sunday. We're having the barbecue. Generally, we have it with children's events attached to it. Because of the COVID situation, we decided this year with the village that we would not offer a children's event along with it. That is a moneymaker in terms of the ability for us to raise funds to do the projects that we've done in the past. Our 50 plus members did not stand still this year. We have done significant projects that all of it came out of our own donations or donations from other clubs and other donors. The biggest project we did this year was Sister City Community Table Project led by Joe Kellogg, where we turned around and said, what do the Key Biscayne businesses need? And what they needed was business. So we provided restaurants, 11 restaurants. We paid $10 a meal and we delivered them through the Chief Press Foundation in Liberty City to needy families during the peak of the pandemic. We also decided to do a yellow mask project in conjunction with Zero Waste Culture. And we we sold over 400 masks, but what ended up happening is those 400 masks generated over 1,100 donated masks that went to places like Homestead, Liberty City, and other areas where we were distributing masks during the peak of COVID. The other thing that we do with our funds is we provide scholarships to Interact students at Mast Academy. We've been doing it for the past 30 years that I've been involved with the club, and we want to continue doing it. So our ability to raise funds is critical. Since we had no events last year, we didn't have the wine tasting, we didn't have the 4th of July barbecue, and we did not have the Grand Bazaar or the Spring Fest. We were not able to raise the funds that we would normally raise. So for that reason, we included for the 22 budget, the July 4th barbecue for 2022. And that's the request that we're putting in for today. It is a completely volunteer-driven event. We get significant help from the village in terms of assistance from building and zoning for the permits, and also from Todd and his group to make sure that the event is a successful event. Financially, we front the costs. We only claim any reimbursement as long as we've had costs. So last year, the Spring Fest, I'll tie it into that as well, if you don't mind, Ed. The Spring Fest was no cost to the village because we didn't have the event. Therefore, there was no requirement that we submit any bills for that. We were not out any funds because we canceled the event. Joe Kellogg and I canceled the event just at the right moment. So we didn't commit ourselves to tents and bounce houses and so on, which we would have to do months in advance. We appreciate the cooperation that we have received as a club by the village of Key Biscayne. It's been a great partnership for many, many years.
30 seconds.
We think we bring, yeah, but I have two. Okay, I'll keep talking the next one. Well, I mean, what else? We have also given back to the community significantly with a lot of programs that are on Key Biscayne. We want to continue doing that. And in order to do that, we need assistance for some of the upfront costs that we have to put out in order to raise the funds that then get plowed back into the community. So that's the 4th of July picnic. We invite you all to be there. We will be there with the world famous Rotary Moho burgers. So come and join us and enjoy nice cool beverage after the parade.
Thank you. Bob, anybody in the audience with any comments? Start with Frank.
It'll be good to get back to normal or something resembling normal. And this is going to be a threshold event.
Yes. Luis? Brett?
Thank you guys. You know, I volunteer. I cook burgers. I think the last 3 years I've burnt all the hair off of my arm and they grow back every year. So, but I think it's great to have that. It adds a whole another dynamic to the parade and the festival that's going on there. So thank you.
Yeah, Brett, I bought fireproof mitts.
Thank you. Ignacio?
I'm fine.
Allison?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, but also it's, having this workshop is so important for ways that I often don't expect, but hearing that the village asked the Rotary Club to take on this barbecue years ago was news to me, and I think an important piece of information for me and everyone else that's listening. So thank you for including that, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you. I have a question for you, Bob. Reading your literature, are you raising money and making a profit out of this to use for other charities?
Well, what we do is we raise funds through the sale of beverages and the food, and if there's a children's event, obviously through that minus the expenses. What we request does not cover all of our expenses, but we do make a profit. 3 years in a row, we made a profit on this. Small profit. It's not very large. And that money is distributed to charities from the Key all the way to projects that we do, like with the Sister City project that we did with the community, the Key Biscayne Foundation. We do partner with the Key Biscayne Community Foundation, Ed, and they provide us with some of the local charities like Act for Me, which is for autism. It's here on the Key. Flying High for Haiti, Chief Press Foundation, and so on.
I have a philosophical problem with the council or Key Biscayne making charitable decisions for its residents. I don't believe we got elected here to decide what charities we should support. I think that's a personal decision. It requires 7 votes on the council for any kind of charitable contributions. So obviously, if any charity is going to be involved and you're going to make decisions in the Rotary Club, I'm going to veto it. Thank you very much. Next item on the thing will be Key Biscayne shorts.
Ed, just what you were just talking about really quickly. If we hired a company to put something on or something like that, I mean,
pay them to do it. That's fine.
But they take profits. Wouldn't you rather, instead of them taking profits, to give it to
the point is they can do the thing and return it to Key Biscayne or do something else, but not to some of the charities, which possibly some residents of Key Biscayne don't want their money going to. And we make it possible for them by giving you a venue so they can make the profit.
Let's not conflate too many things at
We can
once.
talk about that later.
Yes. Okay.
Susie, you're on.
This is the theater? Is this the theater?
Yeah, the shorts.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Am I there?
Loud and clear.
Okay.
Loud
great.
and clear.
Susan Westfall, 525 Allendale Road, Key Biscayne, 33149. I think besides Melissa, I'm going to make this short and sweet. I'm here for City Theater to thank you all for your past support of our professional production of City Shorts. That is actually the only community program that we do exclusive to our village. And it gives me great joy to come and do this every year. We've been doing this since 2015, coming into the island room of our village hall, and I was on the committee for that. So to actually create a theater space in that space is, it's always very gratifying. And to fill it up with people who are coming in to see our short plays, that's always a joy as well. Unfortunately, last year we were in rehearsal, and of course we weren't able to come. And I'm happy to say we made the digital pivot. City Theater made the digital pivot in April when we closed down in March. So we have done actually over 90 short plays as readings since March. And a number of them have been here on Key Biscayne. We are in the process right now of our tour, of our City Shorts tour. We have 2 more programs to do, but we've had so much fun providing matinee entertainment for our audiences of Islanders. And I'm grateful to the Key Biscayne Community Foundation, which caters I don't get this, Melissa, I don't get to get the lunch, but it's wonderful to have a lunch catered to our audiences. It puts them in a great mood. I keep wanting to do an evening show so that cocktails can be catered. I think that would be a lot of fun. But anyway, we're in the process of that. So it is a way to stay connected, our company and our community. Our actors have been extraordinarily grateful for this support because our actors and playwrights have had a very tough time of it. All of our creative community that got hit with COVID, because you have to understand their backup jobs were often bars and restaurants and schools. So they were thrilled to come and do Zoom readings and be able to play the room with our wonderful audiences here on camera. They're looking forward very much to coming back in person, and we're trying to have that conversation with Roxy now. And with a big anniversary coming up for Key Biscayne, City Theater also has an anniversary. So we have been postponing our Summer Shorts 25th anniversary season at the Arts Center now for 2 seasons. We will hopefully be back next season, but we're also planning to be back here in March. That seemed to work out really well for the community for spring break. Of course, the last time we did that, we were the ultra distraction. And we can still be anybody's distraction with a show that we can pack for 2 nights for our community in the convenience of walking, biking, golf carting, however you want to get there.
Thank you, Susie.
All right. Is there anything
comments
else?
from the audience? No, that's great. Any comments from the audience?
Nope.
Luis?
Oh, Susie, I want to congratulate you on what you've been doing.
Thank you.
And the people, it's proof. I served as chairman of the Council of the Arts many years ago in Dade County. And we do have a lot of culture in Key Biscayne, and you're part of it.
We do. Thank you.
And I just want you to know that as we're moving as a council to probably explore new facilities, the expansion of the possible expansion of the community center, and also the possibility more real every day of a library. But libraries today are, we are very focused on looking for theater space, just so that you know, and for your people, because all these things are happening parallel, and we have long meetings, but we're really focused on wherever we land first, we want to have first class, acoustically first class theater space, because it's wonderful.
Thank
you for what you do.
Thanks. If you need me, I sat on that first committee years ago with Willie Baroto, so I'm happy to join in again.
Brett?
You see, she was doing fine until she mentioned Willie Baroto.
My dear friend,
and
oldest friend on Key Biscayne. Frank?
I appreciate what the council member says. That's all right. That's correct.
Ignacio?
Nothing to add. Thank you.
Allison?
I don't have anything to add. Thank you.
Well done, Susie. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Susie.
Thank you.
Next is the Chamber of Commerce.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor. Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Procedure? I don't know if the sense of my colleagues, since they're all community groups, but the two coming up at the end are very much more organization and stuff like that. Is there a time to just separate and make some comments about what's happened up to now, or you rather wait until the end?
Wait till we get there.
Okay, so okay.
Tatiana, we all know Tatiana and what she does. So she's going to be very quick.
And we've seen your slides.
Okay, you see, yeah, but
she's introduced herself 3 times already.
Okay, so yes, Tatiana Chiochetti, Executive Director, Key Biscayne Chamber of Commerce. So I do want to whip through the slides, but I just want to do a quick intro of the role of the Chamber. So we're a membership-based organization comprised of businesses, organizations, and associations, nonprofits. And I'd also like to emphasize the fact that our role as a provider of services to the village. So we hope that you'll agree that we provide a valuable service to the village, not only the village, but our business community at large. We also serve as a liaison to the village, supporting the development and implementation of pro-business initiatives. And we manage the 24/7 Visitor Center, which also includes welcoming and directing residents who are seeking information regarding the village services and departments. And during election years, the Chamber, in partnership with Islander News, provides a platform for village council and/or mayoral election debates here in the council chamber. So, and we also provide representation at non-governmental businesses, business-related sessions, with the goal of increasing awareness of Key Biscayne to local, domestic, and international audiences. We have a 20-person elected board. This is just a little quick overview for Mr. Williamson, who maybe is not too familiar with some of the things that we do, so I'd like to get him up to speed as well. We also have various committees that meet throughout the year to achieve established objectives. And I wanted to say thank you to a Zero Waste Culture, because they have now just started a new committee with our chamber, a Zero Waste Committee. And I did want to say one more thing to Allison, who asked me about the piano festival. And since we have lost the global coverage of our tennis tournament, I think the piano festival, having 14 different countries represented gives a nice global coverage as well. So thank you for the piano festival for that coverage. And we have in 2021, we have currently 15 trustee members, and we are very grateful for their support. We currently have over 300 active members across a variety of categories, 63% of which are consists of small businesses. We also manage an in-house website that offers a wealth of information for businesses and residents. And it includes a business directory, how to open a business in Key Biscayne, an events calendar, jobs board, things to do, where to stay, how to market your business, and a photo gallery. And our website receives an average of 5,000 visitors per month. And we also recently purchased an additional URL targeting visitors. Visit keybiscayne.org, which redirects currently to the Chamber website. We also partner with Islander News to produce the Chamber's annual guide and directory, Island Life. This publication includes a comprehensive business directory, useful information for residents and visitors, and offers a really nice glimpse of life on the Key. Additionally, we produce an annual Key Biscayne map in partnership with Miami Maps. And the Chamber creates and implements marketing campaigns and materials to increase awareness among local residents and neighboring communities, promoting the goods and services provided by our local businesses. Our 2021-22 Visitors Guide is currently in the works. We also, just a little brief thing of where we spent some of the money. In 2020, the Chamber leveraged one of the biggest sporting events of the year and placed a full page ad in the Super Bowl's official guide to reach 1.2 million game and event attendees. And the ad also ran in 4 of the Greater Miami Convention and Visitor Bureau publications, which include the Visitor's Guide, Vacation Planner, Travel Planner, and the special Miami Super Bowl edition. So we also run a number of various digital shop local campaigns throughout the year to encourage residents to support our local businesses. And in an effort to help our local businesses with their holiday sales, we created Key Biscayne's Shopping Night Out last November as a way to get shoppers into our local stores prior to Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday. The concept was for participating stores to stay open late for one night so consumers can get a jump start on their holiday shopping at our local retailers. In 2017, we created a business showcase and a chamber fundraiser called Families in Paradise.
Wind it up.
Time's up. Well, Families in Paradise, which we held at the Village. Good Neighbor Awards is our community initiative, which we co-organized with the Community Foundation. Visitor Center I mentioned. Our Welcome Back program goes to new residents via our Chamber Realtors. And finally, a full recap of the Chamber's scope of activities in 2020 can be found on our website, keybiscaynchamber.org, under the About Us tab. And on that note, our ask for the fiscal year 2021-22 is in the amount of $81,375, no increase in the last couple of years. And this funding truly helps cover a portion of our operating costs and initiatives. Thank you. And just a quick glimpse, there's our team.
Thank you.
All right.
Any comments from the audience? Start with Brett.
Thank you. I mean, it's very tough to do 1 year in 3 minutes, but I'm trying.
Well, thank you.
So please visit our website for more information about what the Chamber does. Thank you very much for your support, and thank you all for what you do.
I just want to thank you for the work that you guys do, and again, that I had been involved previously on the board, and I do believe that you do bring economic development for our local businesses, and I think that's very important. So thank you very much.
Luis? Frank?
We're no longer able to sit on these boards. I'm sorry that is so, but that is so. But thank you for all you do.
Ignacio?
Nothing to add, thank you.
Allison?
No, I'm good.
Tatiana, thank you. I think you guys do a great job. The next item is the Key Biscayne Community Foundation. And I am going to excuse myself. Hey, Melissa. Probably one of the reasons I want to excuse myself because I'm a fan of Melissa's. I think she's an angel. And I've been reported to the ethics board last year as being a horrible person. And I have a conflict of interest. I've started 2 foundations within the Key Biscayne Community Foundation. So not to appear biased like people think I might be, I will turn over the, do you want to carry on?
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Thank you for being such a good person and giving back.
I'm sorry?
Thank you
So
for
we
giving
can't-
back and being such a good person.
What did you want? You want me to chair it for you?
You want me to?
Huh?
Yeah, presentation, please.
That's a good move.
I was just thanking the Vice Mayor for being a good person and apologizing that for being a good person, he's being persecuted.
It's all right.
We have to be able to stand up to these kinds of comments. I'm Melissa White. I'm Executive Director of the Key Biscayne Community Foundation. I live at 370 Heather Lane. Is that right? Okay. Peter, I need you. What do I?
Do we have
Okay. Got it. There we go. Oh,
should
wait.
I go
Can you
there?
go to the
The
beginning?
clock?
Here, I got it.
Okay. So when we look at the past year, the foundation pivoted from our usual programming to helping the residents and the village with the pandemic. One of the first programs we put together was in conjunction with the staff at the community center, and it was related to trying to survey senior needs. We surveyed over 850 seniors with the help of the community center staff. We put together a volunteer program where we had groceries purchased for seniors and delivered to them. And we did regular check-ins. And I'm gonna kind of speed through this. I hope most of you know what we do, and anybody that doesn't, please feel free to reach out and get involved. We built a portal that had resources online. We provided family resources and activities to do at home or virtually. Together with the village, we put together one of the first community testing sites that was not county or state funded. Through the village, we worked with the police department, the fire department, and resiliency chief to set up with BioCollections, our partner, and get free testing for residents until June 30th, at which point it became all pay. What that meant is the foundation took on the burden of the cost because we weren't sure we were going to get it reimbursed at first. So we carried a $94,000 cost for the free tests, until at which point the village was sure that they could get reimbursed by the CARES Act, and we were reimbursed around October of 2020. This is a portal that we created so that people could sign up for appointments. Food security. Now, this isn't directly related to Key Biscayne, but one of the things we do, and a lot of times people don't realize we do much more than what residents see locally, but we received funding from donors to provide food security to our neighbor city and those in Miami-Dade County that were food insecure. We worked with many partners off the Key and on the Key. We worked with the chamber and with restaurants to try to provide business to local local businesses and food to those off the Key that were hungry. Vaccinations. We worked with the village to develop logistics around a vaccination program. When we realized that that was unlikely to happen at any time before March or April, actually, what we did is we formed a partnership with Jackson Health Systems, community partnerships, and together with the village, we were able to provide appointments for over 950 residents and transportation through volunteers and the community center, Parks and Recreation. This is a little bit more of the emergency response, our partnership with businesses in the chamber. And really, besides the fact that I have an amazing staff and team, our volunteers and donors are the ones that rose to the occasion. They're the people that really make me look good and enjoy my job. And when I tell you, we had a business donate roses for every senior citizen on Key Biscayne. We had gloves, 30,000 gloves donated. We had food donated. We had just love and care pour out of this community. And it was really a bright spot. what we do even outside of the pandemic is a program called Storytellers. And we have lectures and presentations. What happened with the pandemic is this enabled our residents to go online and watch programming and to learn, and to continue. And if you see during the pandemic in the last 9 months, our programming was kind of off the charts. We had over 269,000 views and reach, and then 19,800 views. We can drill down to the data on this, and you can see that over 40% of our audience are seniors. I'll tell you the most popular video is Ask Exercise Class and Fidget Spinner Blankets, which I think I've never seen a program more popular. It was like insane the amount of hits. Community groups workshops, and I'm speeding through to this point because I think this is, in terms of our funding and our contract with the village, really what we're supposed to be providing as a service to you guys. And last year, in September of 2020, the mayor requested that Councilmember Segurola and the foundation work together on an application and a community groups process. And we've been going back and forth, and what Councilmember Segurola really, the feedback he gave us on the application that you see in your packet was he wanted to make sure that section 7.05 was referenced in the application. And our application is solely to inform you for the administrative application on the groups. But we took it a step further because you guys are volunteers and you do your best, but you're not necessarily intimately involved with the groups that presented today, but we are. So we wanted to give suggestions on what it really takes for the village funding. And here are two recommended metrics: substantial involvement and adequate consideration. So if you go back to section 7.05 of the charter, the village shall not make any grants or charitable contribution to any person or entity except such grants and contributions as have been approved by all 7 council members. And what that's saying is exactly what Ed alluded to earlier. If something is a charitable grant, then it takes a 7-0 vote. So what makes something a charitable grant versus a fee for service or a contribution for a program or a contribution that is a sponsorship or a promotional event? And 2 recommended metrics from the village attorney were substantial involvement and adequate consideration. So we broke down the 3 types of funding: charitable contribution, financial assistance without expectation of any tangible deliverables. What that means is the grant doesn't have anything expected in return, such as a good or service. There's no substantial involvement, there's no adequate consideration, and there's no goods or services provided. A fee for service, on the other hand, the village is actively involved in planning a
Melissa,
project.
The vice mayor left us with a little bit of, I've given you almost 5 minutes just out of consistency with the other people. I'm sorry to have to be the one to, if you can wrap it up. Because I don't have the clock, but I've been doing it through the phone. Go ahead and finish comfortably.
Okay.
So that no one can.
Well, I provided a background on each of the groups and how substantial involvement happens or it doesn't happen. And if you look here, it goes through each one, whether it's a fee for service, a sponsorship or promotional event. And then I don't deem these to be charitable grants. If you guys deem it to be a charitable grant, that's a discussion you have to have and a decision you have to make. But I put examples of why a piano festival is not a charitable grant, but in our opinion, a promotional event or sponsorship. And it's mainly around the amount of involvement the village has, the amount of consideration it's getting, and what they're getting in return. And this is an example.
You know, and particularly on this subject, Melissa, let me just be the bad guy, unfortunately, but we need to close out because we don't want people to say that you have more time than the normal other presenters that the vice mayor was sticking to 3. You're into 6 minutes already.
Okay.
I apologize, but he sort of abandoned us here.
So, manager, do we do the 30th anniversary or no?
Yes, go ahead. Together, I thought it was going to be Todd, but it's all right.
Okay. Would you prefer it's Todd?
No, it's fine. Fine. We'll start again.
Okay. Well, that was a beautiful piano concert. Let me see. This goes through each of them. Peter, do we have the 30th anniversary ready to go?
Is this something other than what we got on the package?
The 30th
Peter?
anniversary? Okay. It was part of actually your package for the last council meeting, but we did the video and we forgot to do the presentation. Okay. So I can try to wing it. The 30th anniversary, and we put it together mainly because for anyone new to the council, the question might be, why would the foundation be involved with the 30th anniversary? And for the last 11 years, we've been helping, every 5 years, we help the village plan the 5-year anniversary. For 2011, we worked with that mayor and council, and we hosted a cocktail reception at the Ritz-Carlton. For the 2016, we worked with that mayor and council, and we hosted a series of events in different places around the village. And this year, we're also working with the mayor and administration on the party that will be in September.
Okay. I had asked our financial man today on the summary sheet, it comes under, is this the 30,000 is to the foundation or is for us to do it? I'm very confused.
So this is actually a good question, Councilmember Laredo. You don't just, and this was a question that Councilmember Laredo had, or Segurola had 2 years ago. The village doesn't actually just hand the foundation a blank check. What happens is we reimburse expenses. So you currently have in your budget $30,000 for the anniversary. And as the party is planned, then expenses will be reimbursed against that line item. But it's not.
Melissa, you didn't get my question, and I really need an answer for the administration. I'm with you on that. The question is, this would be then an additional contribution to the foundation, the way it's listed in our working document. No, you know, I'm a process person, and if we clarify things, we avoid all kinds of hassles in our beautiful village that everybody's very pumped up about things. So it's just a question of how it's presented. I thought it was an administrative thing that we, the village, was going to do this thing. Now it's sort of under the foundation. So one can construe that it's a reasonable person could construe, perhaps erroneously, that it's 125 plus 30. Right, well, let's clarify it because.
Yeah, so the 30,000 for that event is budgeted within the Parks and Recreation Department, but as Melissa stated, it is fully reimbursement based.
Could I try to ask a question here? It's extremely confusing to people, and I've watched this for years, and I've seen a lot of misinformation. And my understanding actually is very different even than the way Councilmember Laredo just phrased it. That what we've seen here, Melissa, please jump in if my understanding is incorrect. But it's my understanding that the Village of Key Biscayne does not make a contribution or a donation to the Key Biscayne Community Foundation, but rather we have a service contract. You are a service provider. That's correct. When you do things that the village administration asks you to do, we pay for it. That's correct. We budget a certain amount of money, in this case, 120,000 or
25.
To 125,000 is what we expect. We will ask the total amount we expect to ask in services for the next year. That we are not giving 125,000 to you. We are also not giving 30,000 for a party. We are budgeting $30,000, and we are asking you to provide a service to help the Parks Department plan the party. That's
correct.
I understand it.
Allison, if I could interject, just because I think this highlights an important part. This is added work for us. It's not something that I don't look forward to more work on my plate. My staff doesn't look forward to more work on their plate. We do this because we're good community partners and we're good for the village. But if you guys decide today or tomorrow or in a month that the service we provide is something that you don't think is valuable, we would very happily focus on things like support Surfside or the work we do off the key, which is much, by the way, it is actually, people thank us for that work. So this is really a decision for council to make, Councilmember Laredo.
Melissa, I'm having a communications problem, and maybe I tend to be a little bit more simplistic. I have no issues with all the stuff. You're a little bit off my subject. I want to make sure, because there's a lot of people who need clarification.
There's 10 people in a chat that need clarification. Everybody else seems to understand the way this works. It's the same way it's been working.
Well, you know, I'm so sorry because, you know, let me just bring this to a head, because your reaction to my question as an elected official it's unfortunate. And let me give you a little bit of history. I came into this council. I've been in Key Biscayne 40 years, and 30 years ago, I was chairman of the foundation of this community. So I've seen it in its best. I came back 2 years ago to serve, and the first thing I unfortunately confronted was a request, perhaps not properly addressed, by a member of this council, duly elected by the people of Key Biscayne, and everybody and their mother came of the foundation, came after him rather than the foundation institution answering his questions. And all of those, I'm remembering, all those incredible meetings full of people were supporting you individually. I was one of those, Melissa, remind you that I was one of those at that time. Since then, we've had a little bit of divergent of communications, of
I called you a month ago and you haven't called me back.
Yeah,
so
I also called you. I see. I called you. I left you a message that I was waiting for the numbers, Melissa. But you know, is there a possibility that you can disconnect personally? This is not about you. It's about other people may have other opinions. Is that a reasonable?
You're right. Other people do have other opinions.
Let me say what I was going to ask you, depending on that. I think, by the way, this confusion I blame on the administration, because the way it's presented, it's not clear to me. I may not have a problem with saying it's 125 by 1 plus 30 because I know how it is that you return the money. So I have no issue with that. Don't go there.
You know, Councilmember Laredo, it's not productive. You stopped my presentation and you've been going on, and I could have finished my presentation, and it might have cleared up a lot of questions you've had if I was actually allowed to present.
Go ahead and
but instead, you've been presenting.
Councilman, if I could interject here, I think what we're arguing.
Are you? Go ahead. I will. It doesn't even merit recognition of what you just said. But go ahead, Mr. Manager.
I'm fine then.
No, go ahead. I want to hear from you. No, I asked originally the 30,000 was directed at you, so I can understand.
And I think if you actually look at the document that's presented to you that was actually approved in the 2021 budget. So that's already been approved by council. And so, you know, the foundation working with the Parks Department has been asked through a budget that was approved last September to do this event.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure we're clear. This was a decision that's already been made.
Correct. Let me just make for the record, not for you personally, that I was telling you to end because everybody else was being forced to end in 3 minutes. And you got more than that. So if I interrupted you, it's because I thought we were all equal here. So, well, let me get to something. Do you believe, and I've been dismayed that because we had a very divisive election, there seems to be We were called people who were not for bond issue, were called irresponsible citizens, and then cave citizens. Some members advocating for the foundation have repeated that word. So anybody who has any questions, and by the way, to highlight the good thing about this community, that one member and his wife, he wrote a very wonderful letter supporting the foundation, who was happened to have been a city council, a village councilman, and had these kinds of negative words. When I asked him, why did you do that? He had the courage, he had the class, he had the integrity to say that he was wrong. And he wrote another letter to the editor saying, I apologize for that. There is no need to get into these kinds of attacks when anybody asks anything of the foundation. So obviously we have a gulf in communication, but I want to ask you for the record 2 questions.
Please.
Is the foundation a tax-deductible corporation?
We're a 501c3.
Okay. Is that under federal IRS rules? Are you allowed to be politically involved in elections?
Councilmember Laredo, I think that you have taken this meeting where it's not supposed to go. I understand that you have Miss Allegra and she copies you on emails and she harasses staff on the foundation, but I'm telling you,
okay,
this is not the appropriate.
This has got to stop. This is way out of order. We're way off subject. This just has to stop.
What about stopping the fact the questions he's asking the foundation?
This is all wrong. I don't think that the history of what happened 2 years ago is correct, and this entire course of discussion is so far off topic. We're here to do a presentation on community groups' budget asks. We've gone through that. This has just got to end. This is not topical.
I say you. I could say to you that we ought to move on. Thank you for intervening.
I think the ambassador has no clue.
Thank you. It has to be all personal. Thank you, Mr. Kaplan, for intervening.
There are 2 people that have raised their hands. Peter, can you connect? There's 2 callers.
Yes, sir.
You also have Councilmember McCormick as well.
Our first caller is Mr. Bob Brooks. He is raised.
Yes, I just want to, this discussion about the services and the fact that you have the money in the budget, the $30,000. You have 2 choices. The village manager can instruct his staff to spend the time to put this thing together, or he can farm it out to somebody who's willing to do it. There will be no more than that $30,000 spent because that's all you've approved. That is a fee for service arrangement. And this is what this council may not understand, that several of the things that you've seen today are fee for services. And I do want to emphasize that a lot of the organizations that have come before you are in fact 501c3s. So that doesn't matter. The fact that you're a 501c3 shouldn't matter. If you're performing the service and you're being paid for it and it's already in his budget, it's either going to be spent by the village staff putting all this together, or somebody else is going to put it together who has the experience in putting these big parties together, as does the foundation. Why this became an issue is beyond me, and I think it is absolutely such a minutiae of misunderstanding of how your budget works. You either spend it or you don't. So don't have the party, then the foundation doesn't get any money to put on the party, and neither does the village spend the money to put on the party because you cancel the party. So one way or another, you're going to have to either spend it if you want the party or just ignore it, because that's the only way that money will not transfer to the foundation or be used by the village. And that's my comment here, because I couldn't understand where the confusion came from. And I think a lot of it is just stirring the pot. It's just not fair, because it's a fee for service that has nothing else attached to it except the expenses that are going to be utilized for the event. And that's pretty much it. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Everybody's hard work tonight. This is not an easy subject and very complicated, but I hope you guys make it easy and you keep the community going in the right direction so that we don't become as insular as we did during this pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Next one, Peter.
Our next caller.
Sorry, I had something to say. Can I?
Yes. Yes.
I just would like to say, Councilmember Laredo mentioned, sorry?
No, I was wondering where Ed went.
Councilmember Laredo mentioned that he blamed the administration for this. And I saw something in there that I think is important for us to reflect on, that what we saw from the foundation was a lot of the projects that they do with donor money, and what they do for the village is just what Bob was talking about, fee for service, and they now have a contract. And I frankly think it's always a bargain because they've never charged us for their man hours. They charge us for what they buy and what they do. So if we were to go another route, it would clearly hit our budget in a different way. It would become, I would imagine, much more expensive to have someone else do the work that they do for the village. But I think that given that, I don't really understand why they continue to come before us in community groups. We do not give them grants. We do not give them money. We hire them to do tasks for us, the same as SFM, the same as our custodial staff. We don't ask any of those people to come and explain the work that they do as a fee for service to the village. So I hope that perhaps a solution to this problem would be not having the foundation at this workshop. It just doesn't seem appropriate to me. And I think it adds to the confusion of people not understanding the role of the foundation and what they do for us. And I don't want to belabor the point and make people upset, but that's my observation, and I felt it needed to be said tonight. So I did.
Councilwoman, let me just clarify, because it diverted into personal exchange. Actually, I was advocating. I thought I was advocating for the proposal, the 120 of the foundation, by making sure people understood that this 30,000, which is in this paper, folks, it says here, Parks and Recreation, that it was unfair and an unfair perception that people could say it's 125 from 30, which is not correct. And that's why I didn't mean to blame the administration, but this presentation could be construed the way. I did not construe it that way. And I thought I was advocating for them to make sure that their proposal is the 125. We want them to 30,000. So see how quickly things got out of hand.
I see it, but to me, I see the 125 for the services they provide as the same as our budget line item for our landscaping company. And I don't get why we have one vendor to come and not others.
All right. And that's exactly what I was trying to say, so that they would not be perceived as being looking for 155,000. That was my whole point, but it didn't get anywhere. And thank you for Mr. Kaplan for stopping in that direction. But you can see that it's impossible to have any kind of dialogue at this table. That's another subject. Thank you. Is there?
We have another caller.
They said over?
We have another caller. And then, okay. So we're still on this item. Peter?
Yes, sir. Our next caller is telephone number ending in 396. Caller, please dial *6 on your telephone now.
I actually drove over here. That's me.
That's you.
Making dinner for my family. So can I come to the podium and speak?
Please, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Jennifer Stearns Buttrick. I live at 180 Cape Florida Drive. I was here earlier, but it was very pleasant. So I went home. I was making dinner for my family, and I heard the exchange, got in my car, and drove back. I am counsel for the Key Biscayne Community Foundation. I'm speaking on behalf of the foundation without their permission, and also as a village resident. I've listened to this entire meeting, and there's not a single group here that did not mention Melissa White and the Key Biscayne Community Foundation. And there is a small group of residents in this community that continue to attack Melissa and attack the foundation. And Mr. Laredo, you snicker, but you said, Ms. White, is it appropriate for you to engage in political activities? And the answer is yes. There is federal law that provides very strict guidelines as to what a 501c3 can and cannot do. And Melissa stayed within those parameters completely. It is a percentage of the budget. And she operates within the law with everything she does. She works so hard and is under a microscope because of a group of community residents who are against virtually everything.
I see.
And they put an idea in someone's head and someone gets on the dais and attacks her. But I can tell you, and I think everyone that's still in this room would agree, please stand up if you do, that Melissa serves this community well, and stop attacking her and the foundation. Thank you for Mr. Councilmember Kaplan.
Are you suggesting that I am attacking her?
I don't know what you were doing, but you were going down a line of questioning that I found so disturbing that I got into my car and drove here.
Madam, since your family is, you have author of the CAVE phrase and also the responsible citizen. So if anybody disagrees, even an elected official with somebody or a group, we are irresponsible or CAVE people. Why do you have to? Why do you have to have that kind of dialogue?
First of all, a dialogue is completely appropriate, and it's totally appropriate to disagree on issues. But when the disagreement becomes personal attacks
why don't you refer to me? You just said that I personally attacked her?
No, I think that there was a line of questioning that started with, Ms. White, tell me about your 501c3 and whether it's appropriate for you to be lobbying. I'm speaking in public comments, and now you're questioning my comments. I have a right to sit here and speak as a citizen of this community, Councilmember Laredo, and I believe that constructive dialogue is important. That is not what is happening on Key Biscayne. I'm involved in this community, and I get accused of being an insider with a personal agenda because I want to support my house that's on the water and make sure that we're protected as to the effects of climate change. I care about this community incredibly deeply, and I get personally attacked, as does Melissa White, who does a lot more than I do, for doing good work. And you know what's going to happen? She's going to leave. She's going to stop working for the village, and every one of us is going to suffer because it would probably take 4 or 5 people for the village to hire to do the work that Melissa does. So stop attacking her. She does not deserve it.
Are you again accusing me of attacking her?
Yes, I am. You made an inappropriate comment.
Thank you.
Let's end this public comment. Thank you. Thank you for coming. This obviously morphed into something that does not belong on this dais, does not belong in this chamber. I think we are done, actually, with this agenda.
Frank, can we talk about something that switching subjects altogether?
We should get the vice mayor back in here.
Yeah, I don't know where he is.
Peter, if you could see if Ed is around and bring him back in.
I'm on
there you are.
Vice mayor's on.
Oh, I just wonder, getting to the constructive work and thanking everybody who presented today. That was fabulous. And you all do a wonderful job. As the vice mayor said at the beginning, this is a very small part of the budget, but yet it's always controversial. And unfortunately, you see it with your own eyes. And any of you who know me and know my character, my integrity, and where I come from, this is way below anything. But be that as it may, one of the things that you weren't here that I tried last time is to get a sense, a sort of a sense. I know that the budget process gets formally done in September. But it helps, whoever has the microphone on, it helps some of these groups, especially the smaller groups.
Ed, mute your phone.
Yeah. That really depend on small amounts of money to have what I call the comfort and the security as of today, without binding, of a sense of we support them. And I have 4 that I suggest, and I don't know, and I know it's not binding, and I know. But you take, for example, the active seniors, the 4th of July, the Village of Kindness, the Children's Business Fair, which, by the way, all 4 of them have the same budget. Would be a nice message for them to take from us, if we feel like it, that we support them. I mean, support them with that amount, with all the caveats. I'm used to other budgeting processes where you do the difficult ones leave the difficult and take care of the small ones. So I think it's helpful. Some of them have projects coming up right away. So I don't know if that's out of order, or maybe we can make a motion of sense, non-binding sense.
I think a motion is not necessary or appropriate because it's not an action meeting, but I take the spirit of your comment. I would add to it, I've been here before. This is my first time back in budget cycle, but I've witnessed over years the contributions that all of these groups make with amazement, with real appreciation. I will support all of them. I'm not ready to get into numbers yet because one of the problems with this presentation tonight is this is entirely disconnected from the revenue side and the fixed expenses side of our budget. So we're not able to validate the asks, in my opinion, but I will support everybody who stood up tonight. And I'll do so vigorously with much appreciation for everybody who spoke and everything that's being done. We see this when we go out in the League of Cities and other communities. The quality and strength of this community is distinguished in our peer cities in this county, and I think throughout the state, because of these citizen groups. And when we talk about the role of government in supporting these types of activities, because we have the ability and the desire to do so, because we recognize that it adds to our brand and our quality of life and our marketing and all of the things that come from positive esteem and investment, to me, it's invaluable. And we couldn't do this as a government. We leverage the Community Foundation and these other groups that enable us to punch above our weight and do things that we could never do. So the role of government is to find ways to delegate, it seems to me, to do the things that add to the luster and value in the community. And that's what this is all about. So I would support all of these groups, and we'll see what the numbers look like in soon enough, you know, very soon. But that's my take. So I
yeah, my intent is to give him a little bit of comfort that we'll debate some of the numbers, particularly those who have a major increase. But generally, we're very supportive. And because there's a gap between now and September that they're going to be very insecure, and I don't think, and they're planning events.
That's exactly right.
Yes,
you know what I mean? I want them to get the comfort that we're with you.
I mean, their events. This is for next year's budget. So the events they're planning are for, luckily, far enough off in the future. But I would agree with Frank and the spirit of what Councilmember Laredo said, that I am very much in awe of all of the good work of these groups, and hope that we will be able, after we do deal with the big numbers and the big issues, that we will be able to provide support to these groups. And I mean, I don't think it's appropriate to make any kind of promises now, but if you're looking for my sense of whether or not I support them, of course I do. And I hope that when we're done with the big numbers, we can provide enough for people to be able to continue their good work.
If I may make one final comment, I'd just like to repeat what I said at the beginning. I ask that all the groups that are requesting money from the village, please provide us, hopefully within the next 30 days, an accounting of how the money that they received in the previous year was spent, as detailed as possible, so we can have that information once we get down to decision time. Thanks.
Ignacio, thank you for that. One question that I was left with, I didn't know fully the history of the interaction that came up tonight peripherally between you as the delegation from the council and the foundation in developing this methodology that's now before us. I assume that part of what you just spoke to is part of that methodology?
Yes, the form that you see in a lot of the requests at the end that has different fields, that was developed over time, over the past year or so, between Melissa McConwhite and myself. The only piece of information that I informed her a few weeks ago was missing from that form was that accounting of the previous year's funds. But that's basically what was requested. She is correct, and when she said that one of the final fields was a determination as to the charter section 7.05, whether or not it's a charitable contribution or not. I had hoped that would be a determination, a legal opinion by our attorneys, which I did not see on this form, and that's something that we're going to have to revisit. But yes, the form was for, I guess, lack of a better word, formalizing the process. So everyone is asked the same information and everyone submits the same information.
And the foundation is the conduit to procure that information and deliver it to us. And that's what will happen.
Yeah,
for the groups that they administer money on behalf of, yes.
Yeah, but okay. We have come a long way out of this process in formalizing the accountability and all of that format as we are also moving with the work of the boards, the council board, so that we have clear sets of conduct. So it's a very big difference from the first year I was here.
Yeah, none of this existed before.
This is great. We're moving in the right direction.
Well, I think Bob Brooks said something that is fundamentally true. Having this kind of clarity assists these groups in determining or divining what it is that our council is looking for. So that's all for the better.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what will happen. Either the foundation will do that or the groups themselves will. I think that's it. Is there anything else? Anything you wish to add, Brett? Anybody?
No, but I would have to thank the vice mayor. Ran a very good meeting, and twice. I'm sorry he had to leave. I don't know where he is. He's at home.
He's getting used to this.
Yes, and left me with a hot potato of the clock.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
And we're adjourned.
Good night.